One of the things I like to eat with my breakfast is toast and marmalade. Thick cut orange marmalade is my favourite, but other variations are quite alright too. Getting marmalade from jar to toast requires either using a knife or a spoon. The right thing to do, the proper thing, is to use a spoon. Come on, let me tell you what I think. Long ago, I had a friend who was a very proper English gentleman. Although considerably older than me, we would sit and put the world to rights over a lovely cup of tea or two. My friend had worked for the British government for very many years in a role that anyone familiar with the TV series Yes Minister would recognise very easily. Working on Her Majesty's service put my friend in a position where he would not be noticed at all if he did things the way they were supposed to be done, and easily noticed, and not in a good way, if anything at all, even a little bit out of place. My friend taught me a great deal and tried to teach me much more. His skills were remarkable. He could say things without actually saying them, or not say things and yet have spoken. He could present both sides of an argument at the same time, and without letting you know his personal feelings, could guide you to a decision that would be best for everyone. Ah, yes, politics at its finest. Our friendship revolved around some mutual studies with which we'd both been involved. And those studies had led us to exactly the same conclusion from vastly different starting points. We'd tried very hard to understand each other's speciality, but in the end, although we were able to follow each other's train of thought, we could never fully see how the other had solved the highly technical riddle. Mysterious. Respect of each other's skills held us together as friends for life. We both had a strange sense of humour that would bemuse those we work with, and I'm sure caused a giggle or two at important dinners. He had a habit of tapping with his pen. It took me ages to realise he was tapping out words in Morse code. Another of the very few things we had in common. Both our jobs required we could communicate in that way, and long after retiring, I think he missed it. We were not just diverse in our skills, other than having worked for the same boss, as it were. You could be highly unlikely to put the two of us together. We just were not a fit. I rarely wore a tie, and certainly didn't know 9 ways to tie one. I'd be more likely to be in a uniform than a suit. My friend always waited for his phone to ring 3 times before answering it. Not twice, nor 4 times. His hand would be on the receiver, and he would be thinking of his first words, but until that third ring, motion ceased. Someone who knew us both and knew we were good friends asked if we ever ate breakfast together. I confirm we occasionally did. And the next question was, have you ever noticed his marmalade spoon? What a strange question. First of all, I think I need to explain what a marmalade spoon is and why it's even a thing. You see, marmalade is sticky. It gets all over the place unless you use a spoon or, and here's the big thing, a knife. If you use a knife, what do you do with it once you've slapped marmalade on your toast? A spoon will sit nicely in the little marmalade pot, but a knife? Well, something is going to get sticky, and probably the tablecloth. You do use a tablecloth at breakfast now, don't you? Or the marmalade is going to get toast crumbs in it. Mm. The right thing to do takes a little extra effort, but it's just, well, right. First of all, there's a whole etiquette that goes with toast and marmalade. Who knew? Well, other than Paddington Bear, he knew. My friend had worked in and around people and places that knew exactly how things should be done, and whenever people were in those settings, they all behaved themselves because everyone else would be watching. There's a famous story from a Chequers breakfast where Winston Churchill was entertaining some international visitors. Now, some of the visitors were nervous about the whole etiquette thing, and they decided to do just whatever Mr. Churchill did. As breakfast concluded, Churchill took his teacup off its saucer and poured some milk into the saucer. And although it seemed a little strange, the new guests also took their cup off its saucer and also poured a little milk into it. They waited to see what Churchill would do next. He picked up the saucer, bent down, and placed the saucer on the floor for his cat, Nelson. Of course, this fun story came about because the guests were not used to formal protocol, nor Churchill's flexibility with it. Doubtless, they ate breakfast every morning, probably just like most of us, grabbing something on the way out as we rush off to work. They may have known there was a right way to eat breakfast. They just didn't do it, or perhaps didn't know what it was. My friend was different. Not only did he know exactly what to do, he also did it. And not just because everyone else was watching. My friend did things that way because it was the right thing to do. Visiting my friend's house, even if my visit was unexpected, there would always be a spoon in the marmalade. My friend used a spoon for marmalade even when no one was watching. Another monarch, many years earlier than the one my friend worked for, wrote, "O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. You know when I sit down or stand up. You know my thoughts, even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel and when I rest at home. You know everything I do." My friend knew this psalm as well as I do. We were both very well aware that claiming to be a representative of Christ, or as we'd probably say these days, a Jesus follower, required that we live all of our lives, not just the bits we think people see, in a way that represents who we claim to serve and follow. Not at all unlike living without a spoon in the marmalade when you are a representative of the British government. Until next time, goodbye.